Oh, wait, where's the remote? Oh, the remote's right there. Can you reach it?
I get to do it.
I mean, the magic rectangle.
This is a wand. Welcome to the Bogey Bro Banter.
Harry Potter. Did you see the Harry Potter person with like it was like a no. Okay, give me something. it was like an icicle that fell.
I didn't see that, no.
And it exactly looked like a
wand.
Yeah, but not just any wand. It looked like the Voldemort wand.
I didn't know there was
So
different
they're
wands.
like, Lisa Blood. I don't know. What is it? Cadabra?
Avada Kedavra.
What?
Abracadabra.
Avada Kedavra.
Okay.
I mean,
That's like the murder. That's like the murder spell.
We just watched that whole series. Like it was the Christmas thing or whatever,
yeah.
right? So we recorded all of them and then watched them all through. And I have to say, like, great movie series.
I agree.
Great movie.
They hold
series.
up really well.
Unbelievable movie series. The only thing is there were times where I was like, why aren't they doing this spell?
Yeah,
That's
that's the thing. Whenever you get into the magic world, there's a lot of plot holes.
It's
'Cause
very
you're like,
hard.
well, if it's magic, why couldn't they just like? Why did they have to jump over to that thing and then one of their friends died? Like, why couldn't they just like float or something?
Yeah,
like,
Well, also, why can't they just heal their friend?
yeah, that's very true.
I've never watched Harry Potter, so that might not make sense.
There's an interesting. So have you
Healing is not. No, Snape healed Draco, right? Yeah, Snape healed Draco after he got hit with Harry's magical spell.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing is like when you start like if you encompass yourself in the world and you're just like one with Harry Potter, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But as soon as you kind of take a step back and you look at it like as a like, oh, they can do that now, and then you're like, oh, why aren't they doing that right now? Why aren't they doing that?
Yeah.
What would everyone's house be?
I've never
you have
watched.
no idea.
I don't know.
Slytherin. Till I die.
I hate you.
She.
I think I said when Kelsey and me were watching, I would go Hufflepuff just to stay out of the drama.
Hufflepuff
Is what I
sounds like a
said.
fun house.
I feel like I could be the Hufflepuff poster child, and I'm not really sure why. I just feel like it.
Is that what Neville was in, or was Neville in Gryffindor?
I think he was in Gryffindor, but I don't
Was
know.
he?
I don't know.
No, I'll look it up.
Have you?
Is Slytherin a house?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the
it is.
worst one.
Frick yeah.
No one
Yeah,
likes
it's where all the
those
bad
people.
boys are.
Yeah. That's where all the that's like that was the original hype house.
You're Hunter. You are anything but a bad boy.
Hey man.
He is Gryffindor.
Whenever we go on like work trips and stuff, Trevor and I always just try to do as much as we can to make Hunter feel like we're gonna get him in trouble.
That's true.
But we never actually do.
Very true.
We get very close. Whenever
Cedric Diggory was the famous Hufflepuffer, which
You're
was
Cedric.
well that's the Twilight guy, Ryan Patterson,
Robert
Twilight,
Pattinson.
like
Robert Pattinson.
Robin Pattinson.
Robert.
Did I mess up both words?
Yeah.
Pattinson?
You said. What did you say?
Ryan Pattinson. I don't even know. Pattinson?
You said Ryan Patterson.
He didn't show up to the reunion though. You hear the controversy about that? 10-year reunion.
All
or
I know
whatever,
about
man?
him is that he's really into hard drugs.
Well, he's Batman right now, so he's getting into character.
Oh, well, he used to be. He might not be anymore.
No, Batman's into hard drugs.
Oh, okay.
Has to be to dress up as a bat and fight criminals at
You
night.
live in a cave.
You've got to be on drugs.
What else are you doing in a cave? That's where all the bad stuff happens.
What else do you do in a cave? You know what happens whenever
Batman
you walk in a
doesn't live in a
cave?
cave.
Your foot gets stabbed by a syringe. That's the only thing that happens whenever you go into a cave.
Not a bat cave.
Oh, okay.
But Batman doesn't live in a cave.
Batman lives in a cave.
He lives in a mansion.
Yeah, he lives in a mansion, and then he has
Above
all
a
his
cave.
stuff in his cave.
Above a
The
cave,
Bat
and then the Bat Cave.
That's where
has
the
all-
Batmobile and all
yeah.
that is.
I mean, do you say you live in a basement if your
Here's the
house
thing.
has a basement?
No.
Iron Man,
No, but you could.
Iron Man, and Batman are essentially just superheroes because they're rich, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's your
Well,
what's your
no,
point?
no.
They didn't deserve it? Are you
No.
one of those people where
No.
it's like someone's rich and they get good? At
I just think
something?
I just think
you didn't
Superman.
earn it.
Like Superman's a superhero, but like
Yeah.
in modern day
Technically,
society,
Superman's an alien.
if Jeff Bezos suddenly had a full iron suit and was flying around fighting crime, are we praising him as a superhero or are we terrified of him?
But what made Tony Stark like Iron Man was that he came up with the technology. Like he invented the technology.
Jeff
And
Bezos probably would
technically-
too.
And
Or
technically,
Elon Musk is a better example.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
If Elon Musk suddenly had a suit fully made of
I
iron.
mean, he made a flamethrower. That's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, but I'm saying if Elon Musk out of nowhere was just like, there's something going on, a world crisis, and Elon Musk flies in and shoots a photon thing at it and kills it.
Yeah, but also superheroes aren't real.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Wait,
That,
what?
that would never happen.
when
in
someone's
real
a
life.
superhero just because of how rich they were in the movie, that's more
just
realistic.
because of how rich he is. though.
But
he's technically kind of a cyborg because his heart, that whole heart thing, he had to like invent the
Who you
thing.
talking
Tony Stark. Iron
Oh,
Man.
okay, yes.
but I'm
Because
just
of
saying,
the-
like, that type
I
of
thought you were talking
superhero.
about Batman has no.
No, Batman.
He's
That
just-
type of superhero though could be realistic, because like the only thing standing between a human and that superhero is technology and a suit.
Well, technically, I don't think people really technically refer to Batman as a superhero because he's technically a vigilante, so he's not even a superhero
Valid.
at all.
Valid.
Yeah,
He's not
I don't even
superhuman.
want to get into like I know Marvel decently. I don't know DC that
I don't know
well.
DC at
and
all.
I feel like DC fans are insane, so our
Yes.
comments might be blown
They're both
up.
kinda insane.
If we say anything wrong about
but
Batman, we might.
but okay. Final thing I'll say is like superheroes, not possible. Like you're not going to see someone just flying because they were born able to fly, but someone could turn into Iron Man.
That's true. However, I think the thing that I think is interesting is that anytime you look into an Iron Man, a real life Iron Man suit or anything like that, you realize that our technology is really cool, but
We're not there yet.
No, we're not even anywhere close.
But
No, there's no way that you can have like a machine fly onto you and attach around.
well,
you.
I'm not talking like fully true. I'm like in my case,
You're saying-
Elon Musk
you're
would like
saying
walk
step
into
one.
a room and
You're
be
saying
like, "All
step
right,
one."
let's start putting it on me,"
Yeah,
and then
Yeah.
I'd rather see the Dragon movie where people are flying around.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, I'd rather see that superhero.
well, we need dragons first. I saw they're trying to bring the woolly mammoth back.
With what DNA, like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park style?
Yeah, they were gonna. It's
Is
something
that
where
even possible?
it's something where they like found. They got enough DNA from fossils and stuff, and there was some type of scientific research where they were trying to like recreate enough of the DNA that essentially when I don't know if it's when an elephant was pregnant or after it gave birth, but they were basically going to try to inject the DNA into the elephant, either fetus or newborn, so that it'd be born as a woolly mammoth.
Did it happen?
I don't know. They're in the process of it.
Aren't people-
I read this like this week.
Don't
That's
people?
crazy.
Not everyone believes in woolly mammoths, right? Like there are people out there that don't believe woolly mammoths are real, right?
Well, weren't woolly mammoths just big, hairy
I think
elephants?
I think most people believe they were real. They just might not believe the timeline that scientists give it.
Okay, so they're not debating like the dinosaurs, or like the dinosaurs didn't exist.
Well, some people do debate that dinosaurs didn't exist.
No,
No,
I know
he's saying
that.
a
I'm
woolly
saying
mammoth.
woolly
Oh, yeah.
They're not debating that they.
I think
They're debating
woolly
where they
mammoth is
were.
just like an old elephant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I said,
they're trying
aren't
to.
they like 3 or 4 times the size of
Maybe.
an elephant?
yeah, they're massive.
Yeah.
They're massive. They said that it was something like I forget exactly what it was, but something that a woolly mammoth did, they think would help save the ice caps or something like that. Like some way they lived their
Interesting.
life.
Were humans around with the woolly mammoth?
I think that
Had-
depends on what
had
you
to be.
believe.
Oh, okay. What do you mean had to be?
I guess what Konner said.
Oh, okay. I see. Your
Someone
point.
had
How
to be,
big- how
someone
big
had to
woolly
be there to
mammoth?
name it.
Valid.
Well, I was curious is what they
named
named.
they
this
were
one
definitely
woolly.
they were definitely saying woolly mammoth back then. They definitely were speaking English.
That's what I was. That's what I was. I
Well,
was
is
wondering
woolly
what they would
mammoth an
call
English
that.
word?
Maybe
Wait,
not. Has to be woolly.
Okay, so it looks like a woolly mammoth is approximately just over a meter larger, but like the girth, like tall, it's a meter higher.
But like how much bigger they are.
I mean, it looks like almost 2 elephants can fit into a woolly mammoth.
that's cool.
Like the graph on his phone they are pretty big.
I mean, like, look at that.
I think it'd be
I
cool
don't
if
even know
we
what
had
that,
one.
That's weird. I don't even know what that.
That doesn't even look right.
That's not a woolly mammoth. I don't know what that is.
that just looks like Dumbo.
That's a
That's Woolly Willy.
Palliloxodonamandingus.
That's the woolly mammoth's
Are
real
you
name.
casting a spell right now?
Yeah, you're dead meat, dude.
Oh man. Oh, I did see this funny video of it was like someone on like a safari or whatever, and it was a crap. I forgot what it is. What is Pumbaa? He's a warthog. Is it a
Yeah,
warthog?
warthog.
He's a warthog.
Yeah.
So they're like driving in their like little Jeep, whatever, and they're filming this warthog going down the road, which is like just a dirt path. He's like, oh look, it's well, it was a duet, so it was a TikTok where someone was duetting the footage of the woolly mammoth, or not the woolly mammoth, of the warthog. And so he's over there. He's like, "Oh my God, look, it's Pumbaa." He's like, "A wing, a wop, a wing, a wop, a wing," and then all of a sudden you see the warthog like, and then out of the corner, like 2 lions just jump out and like grab his neck, and the guy's like, "Oh!" And I was like, "Oh man,
that's pretty funny."
Because that's probably what would actually happen.
Yeah.
That's
the circle of life.
That was my dance song for my, gosh, what birthday was it? It must have been like 8th or 9th birthday. It was like the cool thing when it was your birthday, you got to have the roller rink to yourself.
Now we're tracking.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I thought you were just at your kitchen.
No.
Blasting circle of life.
No, we had a birthday party at a roller rink, not ice rink, roller rink.
Yeah.
And that was, which if you think about it, kind of a really weird, like,
that was a common birthday party back in the day.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's a weird thing to be like, you send all the kids to the edge. They have to get off the rink and you're the only one skating around. Like when you think about it,
I never did that part of my birthday
That doesn't
party.
sound like fun.
Was that a
sounds
Texas
very
thing?
you felt like
uncomfortable.
a beast.
I never did that.
Oh no, wait. Would you say it was Circle of Life?
Yeah. that's
No,
what I
I did. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? That was my
That's
song.
even funnier.
That was
Is there
my
a video
song.
of you? Is there a
I
video of
don't
8-year-old Brodie just cruising
Let's
around the
recreate
roller
it.
rink?
I
Let's
think my
recreate it.
mom still has, because my mom would make really cool cakes, like custom ones with like whatever I was into. So she like made me a Ninja Turtle cake one year. She made me like, I'm sure, a football cake. I think she made like a roller skate that
that's
year.
pretty sick.
And
I
Were
definitely
you roller skating or roller blading?
blading.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a blader, dude.
The inlines.
Blade till
am I
I
right?
die.
I had a roller skating party once when I don't know how old I was. Actually, maybe it wasn't even my party. Maybe I went to it once birthday party. But the only game we did or like music type thing was the limbo, where like all the lights went off. They turned on strobe lights and like a disco ball came down and they were blasting, I don't even know what, probably Kids Bop because we were young. And then they had the limbo and just how low could you go? And then the worker would always come out and like, he was one of those guys that could like put his feet like behind him and like lay all the way down. And so he would come out just to flex on the kids.
That's cool.
And so get like
Kids Pop was big for you?
Kids Bop?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my generation.
It was around when I was around, but it was not popping.
It wasn't like super. I mean, I'm talking like I didn't get to choose my music. I was like 10. My parents are playing Kids Bop for me.
Okay. Fair enough. I just remember there was
Brodie was listening to like Chuck Berry whenever he was a kid.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, we were listening to Wait Up Didn't Up Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh,
Wait Up Didn't
yeah.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Hold on. I'll give you a blizzard if you can say what the first phrase of that song is.
When I did. Like how the song starts.
Like what are the
beginning?
words that he's saying
At the very beginning.
The first phrase, yeah.
What is the first phrase?
Well, that gives
It's
it
part where it's like ba-da-ba-da-ba, Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, if it hadn't been.
I wasn't talking to you, Hunter.
Oh,
We've
I thought
already had this
I
conversation.
thought that was obvious.
Oh yeah.
If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad song.
I've been married a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
It's about an STD.
you don't get a blizzard because I wasn't talking to you.
No, it's fine.
I thought that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you and me
and
and Trevor have had that
No, I
conversation.
feel like
Probably
I was
on
there
this
too.
podcast.
I feel
Probably.
like I was there
I think
too.
we talked about it on Bogey Banter.
That's a possibility.
Pretty sure we had this conversation on the podcast.
Isn't that what podcast we're on right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It gets confusing. You got to look at the light. Yeah, this is Bogey Banter.
Green light.
Green
I
light.
could not wait for our new studio setup.
This kind of looks like Squid Games. Top of my. You can't see it. It's fine. I can't wait for either.
Whenever I was a kid, we had this roller skating rink called Kate Skates. It's still around. It's still there. If anybody is from like Matthews and Monroe area of Charlotte, then they know what it is.
What's your
But-
like phone area code for that?
704. What up?
704. Keep going.
Is that a popular one? Like, do people rep
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Like there's a company called the 704 shop,
Heck
and
yeah.
I've got like hats and.
I want a
stuff that
hat
says
that
What
says-
704.
what is it here?
We're in the 434,
434,
but I'm a 540.
434 is
embarrassing.
sick.
540 is like Bedford, but it was cheaper for me to get my phone with the 540 number. So
Gotcha.
I reckon.
434 is sick.
Yeah, we're the Lynchburg's the 434.
Should we call that the
Yeah, but
Foundation
really-
434? Is that what the store is going to be called?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, because
I-
the,
the-
Are we
I
putting a
think-
name? Are we putting a name on the thingy? Can we get our name up there?
I don't know. I think so.
We can get our name up there?
I think so. If nothing else, we can put a sign by the road.
I mean, that's like kind of
Yeah. Why would we
sale-y.
want people to kind of know where we're at?
No, I'm saying it's like kind of a garage sale vibe.
Not if you get the right sign.
Yeah, not if it's if it's like a cardboard sign.
I'm not saying we should get like a little stake and write foundation, arrow.
Yeah, lemonade, 50 cents.
No, I'm saying we get a like that. Like a banner that's printed and we stake it in the ground.
I just like our name on the sign.
Oh yeah, I do too, but I don't know how possible that is. There's not enough spaces.
Weren't you the person that said you can do anything with money?
That was a completely different situation where, was that on this podcast?
No, we didn't even talk about it on our podcast.
No, that's never been on this podcast.
But however, you have converted all of us, I think. So
the scenario,
yeah.
Well,
it's just a
the
dollar
scenario
number
was
at this point.
The scenario was, I forget what even the scenario was.
It was like filming somewhere at a basketball court or something.
Yes, that's what it was. We were saying that we wanted to film at a certain court, and Trevor said that's literally not possible. And I said, well, I mean, you can't say it's not possible. And he's like, no, like there's no chance we'd ever do it. I was like, well, like if we had enough money, not saying we did, but if we had enough money, we'd be able to do it. And then Trevor's like, no. And I was like, if you had unlimited money, there's nothing you couldn't do.
And then we said,
they started coming up with scenarios and stuff like that.
Playing around the Masters is a pretty good one.
Yeah, but you could still do it. Because basically, if you had enough money, you'd be able to find the right people to hire a hitman to kill off enough people.
Yeah, that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
Originally, it was like
breaking rules.
If you could offer anybody unlimited money and they would do anything, and we were all like, I don't think that's true, because then it gets in the hand of like killing a family member, like doing all this different stuff that's like torture, basically.
Well, didn't you say you'd kill your dog for like $1,000?
No,
$1 million.
Oh, okay.
And
it's very close.
Why are we talking about that on here? Makes me sound like a bad person. Trevor jumped to it immediately.
No, well, I mean, it's a good like moral question, but like if there's $1 million check in front of you,
see ya, Sonny.
Well, it's a tough question, but like Nova, for instance, my favorite dog.
You know that no matter what you say right now, you're gonna be hated.
Yeah,
no, I 100. Well, first off, this
you.
is completely hypothetical. So like we won't know until rubber meets the road.
Yeah,
what
until
would
$1 million check comes in the mail from one of our followers.
Yeah, I don't think I.
And says, I want Luna's head on a platter.
Basically, what I was saying.
Have fun with that scenario.
The scenario that I was painting is I was like, if you have there's enough money that like you reach a point where you're like, no matter what you can't like don't want to do, like if it's not like I would never, like a person and a dog to me are two completely different things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I think there are two different things in most people.
Like,
most people, not everyone.
True. That is very
I still think when rubber meets the road. Okay, for instance, if I would
burning fire.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Burning fire. Do you save your mother? Okay, I guess mother might be bad.
But also, in the back of my head,
do you save your wife or do you save your dog?
In the back of my head, I'm thinking my dog's athletic enough to save itself.
Yeah, but like I would bet if I had to bet money on my wife is sleeping, my dog's sleeping, there's a fire, only one of them is going to make it out on their own, and I have to grab the other one. I'm thinking that Nova's jumping out a window or doing something crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
you're getting
Liz is a heavy sleeper.
Why not just be like, all right, Nova, follow me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting the human first.
Yeah, you're saving the human first.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is not even a question.
So like so to me, like if Nova were to die of natural causes or whatever happens,
cremated.
It's going to hurt. Like
free cremation.
What? That's not where I'm going. It's gonna hurt like
fiery
a human.
building, free cremation.
That's awful. It's gonna hurt like a person dying. Like the only that's you know what I mean. Like it's gonna hurt like I lost a family member when my dog dies. But at the same time, it's also not going to hurt like I lost a family member. Like it's gonna feel like it in the moment. But if I lost my dog and my mom at the same day, I'm not gonna be remembering that day as like, oh, that's the day Nova died.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even really feel like that's that complicated. I know some people are.
Some people are going to be like, you're ridiculous. My dog's my whole world.
Well, cat. More cat.
Cat. I mean,
that
frick a cat.
sounds like more like a cat person.
I hate cats.
I'll kill a cat for free. Just kidding.
Can't say that.
Just kidding.
Can't say that.
My gosh, maybe we should put this behind the paywall after all.
Yeah. Jeez, Konner. Jeez.
I'm sorry. Just to be clear, everybody, I was making a joke. That was for shock value.
When I say I hate a cat, I don't mean like I would do ever anything to harm a cat, period. If a cat was stranded on the side of the road, I'm putting it in my car and I'm taking it to the shelter.
Cats are cute.
But I'm never choosing, if I'm going to spend money on a pet, I'm buying a dog. I'm not choosing to own a cat. I'm allergic to cats.
You can't really also play with a cat. Like, they're not really much.
Let me tell you why I hate cats. I was born and raised.
Litter boxes are pretty disgusting.
I was born and raised in a house that had 4 cats and 2 dogs. Okay. The dogs, I'd wake up in the morning, they'd run up to my room, shaking their tail, licking me, all of that. Cats nowhere to be found. Well, then this one cat, Mittens, she was, I don't know what type of cat she was. She was black and white, super soft. Okay, very nice cat. I'm like 8 years old. I started a morning routine where I would get up and watch SpongeBob while I laid on the couch.
Dude, your parents let you watch SpongeBob?
They did.
You're such a bad person.
I know, I'm a bad boy. What can I say?
What's wrong with
Slither
SpongeBob?
until I
just
die.
kidding.
Oh,
And so I would get up at like I'd go to school at 8. I had to leave the house at like 7:45. So I'd get up a little bit earlier at like 6:45 or 7 so that I could watch a full episode of SpongeBob before I had to get ready for school because I loved watching SpongeBob. So I would get up, I'd lay on the couch and I'd watch SpongeBob. And Mittens started jumping and laying on my chest while I watched SpongeBob. And I would pet her and it was a great experience. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best cat ever. Like, I love this. 2 weeks into this, or 14 days straight of me just petting my cat, watching SpongeBob. I don't do anything different. I lay on the couch, Mittens jumps up, lays on me. I start petting her. I'm watching SpongeBob. Again, I'm like 8 years old. Midway through the SpongeBob episode, no loud noise happens, nothing happens. Mittens looks me in my eyes, hisses at me, bites my hand, and just sprints off. And then every morning since, she wouldn't lay with me ever again. And then my hand was just bleeding. I went to school. And then the cat was just mean the rest of its life.
Wow.
It just never liked me again.
Wow.
A dog, never. I have accidentally stepped on Nova's tail where like she thinks I probably intentionally hurt her because, I mean, dogs don't have reason.
Yeah.
And she comes and apologizes to me. She'll like run up and like look at me like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And lick me. And I'm like, Nova, I'm so sorry. A cat would have freaking mauled my face and made it its life goal to end my life. But a dog just immediately forgives you and runs after you.
I mean, there's a reason they're called man's best friend.
Yeah. So, in other words, there's the long story behind my frick cats statement.
They also might not be your best friend, though, if you think about it.
We're their best friends.
Yeah, but like, they're kind of like someone that will like continue to stay in an abusive relationship.
A dog?
Kind of.
Well, it's because a dog's
like they're
way
very
too loyal.
submissive.
This is what my wife and I always have this conversation, or we haven't in a while, but we have like slightly differing opinions of what the purpose of a dog is. To me, a dog, like this isn't to me. I think that a dog's main desire is to please its owner. That's like what makes a dog happy is whenever you're happy with it. Mm-hmm. And so I think what gives a dog the best life is whenever you train it really well, you discipline it really well to where it's very obedient, because that means that you're going to be rewarding that dog more often and they're going to have a really happy life because they're always pleasing you. Gabby thinks that like the point of a dog is for them to be happy, like to live like their happy life. Like she thinks that we should train them and stuff like that. But I always am like, I don't want him to do that. Like, we need to train him not to do that. She was like, oh, he's just like having fun or whatever. I was like, yeah, but it's getting in our way. Like, we need to like get that out of him basically. And so I don't really know where I was going with that, but that's basically.
Well,
y'all are both right.
Dogs used to be wild, right? And then like they got.
Yeah.
I think y'all are both right because it depends on the breed of the dog.
That is very true.
Nova has golden retriever and poodle in her. Uh-huh. Golden retriever is the happiest when they're pleasing you. And they're also very happy. Poodle also. They're very happy when they're given a task to do. It like basically when they have any like mental stimulant to where like they're given something and they complete that task, it's as good as like running a mile for them.
Because poodles are extremely smart.
Yeah, poodles are very smart. Golden retrievers are very loyal. So when you have a golden doodle, they're very smart and very loyal.
Yeah.
So Nova's happiest I ever see Nova is when I'm teaching her a new trick. When she like successfully catches a Frisbee in the backyard and she sees me be like actually super excited. Then I like you can see her smiling and she'll catch a Frisbee in the backyard I have to force her to stop to drink water because she sees me getting happy with her and that's all she wants to do.
Because she has retriever in her, so she can't help whenever you throw something, she has to go get it. That's what my parents' dog is.
Whereas Luna is a Bernie Doodle. So she has Bernese Mountain Dog and Poodle in her. Bernese Mountain Dog, they're very like you give them a task and they do the task and pleasing you. They're more like a golden retriever is like, I just want to please you. Whatever you ask me, I'll do. A Bernese Mountain Dog's more like, why are you asking me to do that though? So like Nova, I can walk into a room, no treats, no nothing, be like, Nova, sit. And Nova will sit there and look at me. And if I'm like, good girl, and pet her, happy as can be. Doesn't care if there's a treat. If I walk in a room and go, Luna, sit. She'll look at me and be like, why do you want me to sit? And she'll like start smelling my hands and be like, you don't have a treat. But if I have anything in my hand, like Luna sits, she'll sit immediately and look at me like, boom, I'm here. Like if she knows what she's working
like a
for,
reward, yeah.
if she knows what she's like, my happiness isn't Luna's reward. So like I have to use other stuff to train her. Nova, I can just be happy, and that's her reward because they're different breeds.
Kelsey,
I think the Bernese Mountain Dog is kind of like what Gabby's saying, of like Luna doesn't need my happiness for her to have a happy life.
Yeah.
Nova, that's like a requirement of like I have to be happy with. Like if I walk in and she's getting in the trash, I'm like, Nova, are you kidding me? She like shrivels back, and Luna, I can say the same thing, and Luna just keeps her face in the trash can. She's like, frick you, Hunter, I don't care.
Kelsey bought this like contraption thingy majigger, and I think we're gonna test all the boys to see who can do it the fastest, but we might have to do like an inner foundation dog
it's like one of the
so it's like
puzzles.
It's kind of like so it's like it's got like a cylinder in the middle with like different floors, and then it's got like rope on the floors, so the treats are at the top of the cylinder, and they have to pull out 3 floors for it to fall all the way to the bottom. And there's like 3 pegs or 4 pegs around the bottom, and underneath the pegs, they have to like knock the pegs over to get the treats under the bottom.
That's cool.
So it could be a fun like little challenge to see. We were gonna basically put each one of them in like the room by themselves with it.
Yeah, and see who
and
does
just
it.
like start the stopwatch to see who can figure it out the fastest.
We
That's funny.
my mother-in-law has a golden retriever or golden doodle. And she's a nurse, so she has to work sometimes like longer hours or anything like that. So she'll have someone come let the dog out, but sometimes if she's working a weird shift, she can't like go take the dog for a walk at night and like exercise it. So we were so she was like, for Christmas, she really wanted ways to like mentally exercise her dog inside her house. And so Liz and I were trying to look for stuff, and so we found a dog puzzle online. And her golden retriever is like less than a year old, or her golden doodle, sorry, is less than a year old. So we were like, well, let's just get the easy level puzzle. And it's not a super easy puzzle. Like it took us a solid 5 minutes to figure out how to put it together. And so basically what it is it like has these like things that come over a treat and then a slider that locks in. So to get it unlocked, the dog would have to use their paw or their nose to force this slider away and then rotate this thing open. And it has like 15 of them. And you put a little treat in each one and shut it. And I was like, this will be great. Like it'll take the dog a while to figure it out, all this. So we were like, she opened it, she loved it. She's like, oh, let's test it. So we put the dog in its kennel, like where it would be using it. And then we put the thing in the floor and put the treats in it. And we sat it down, and we didn't show the dog anything. We just sat it down with treats in it. And we're like, let's just see what happens. 30 seconds, it was done. The dog just walked up and smelled it. Got the first treat. I was like, are you kidding me? And then it just did all of them. Jeez. Like if you blink, it did it faster than I could have probably done it. And it had no idea what to do the first time I sat down. It's just
That's
that
so
smart.
funny.
So we're gonna get it like a level 3, like the hardest one, and see what it's capable
dog
of.
puzzles.
But it was fascinating.
Bruno, my dog, is a Aussie Doodle, so he's Australian Shepherd and Poodle, which means that he has those are 2 extremely smart dogs. So a lot of people say that an Aussie Doodle is like one of the smartest dogs because it's got 2 really smart dog breeds, and so it has the Poodle, which is just really smart, and then it has the Australian Shepherd, which is like a constant go, like trying to herd. And so Bruno, like we will try to walk in our house, and sometimes he doesn't let us go because he's just like circling around.
He's like, no.
Yeah, like he just like he doesn't. The problem is that he's never sheep herded a day in his life, so he doesn't know why he's doing it, but he just knows that he needs to like walk circles around everything. Like my nephew, whenever we were at my parents' house a couple weeks ago, he's 1 year old, and so he's like walking around everywhere, and Bruno will like he'll just block him. He'll just push his side into him. Like literally walk up to Lewis is his name and just push his side into him the whole time, and it's very funny. But the problem is that like it basically just creates a dog that is super anxious because Bruno has so much like pent up energy, and he's also has like super smart like a poodle that like everything like he's like, oh my god, we're gonna die like every second. Like last night, Gabby got me a shower speaker for Christmas, like just like a speaker that sticks in the shower. And I guess awesome. Whenever she stuck it on there, she didn't stick it on there that well last night, and so we were laying in bed and we just heard this loud thud in the bathroom, and she was like, oh, it's just a shower speaker. And we look over and Bruno's just like set up straight like this.
He wasn't barking though?
No, he was just freaked. He was like paralyzed. He was so scared. And I'm pretty sure the whole entire night he just sat there and stared at the bathroom, but like wouldn't go in there.
He wouldn't go in there.
Yeah.
That's fine. So Nova, when I first got her, I got her when I was 18. So the reason I got Nova, I got a beagle when I was 4. My parents bought me and my brother.
Very cute puppies.
Yeah, my parents brought me and my brother a beagle. My brother's name was Dolly. Mine was Wendy. And my brother's died when the beagle was like 11 years old of Lyme disease because they were outside a lot. And so we got ticks all the time. But then Wendy, my dog, basically just grew up with me. So we had to put her to sleep when I was 18. So she lived 14 years. So from the time I was 4 to I was 18, I had Wendy. And basically she got to the point where she just couldn't walk. And so it was like sad because she was also blind at that point, and then she was just in constant pain. So like if you put her outside, like to walk, she would yelp. So she ended up just like having to lay in the house, and she'd pee and poop, and she couldn't go anywhere. So we didn't want to.
Yeah, put her on top of one of those remote control cars.
That would have been sick. Well, she was a big beagle.
All right, a big remote control car.
Or like put him in one of those like the.
We would have had to get like a little kid
little
gator
kid.
and put her in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean it was a very sad time, but that happened. I think it was in like July, right after I graduated high school, and it was the first time in my life that I didn't have a dog of my own, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, what the heck? Because we had like little dogs, like little toy, like we had a little Maltese and 2 Shih Tzus, and I was like, I don't really like the small
aren't real
dogs.
animals.
Well, like they're fun, but like you can't take them outside and go play with them. Like they just kind of run in circles and look at you like, I'm not meant to be running. Get me back inside in a bed. And so then that October, I was like, I really want a big dog, like bigger than Wendy. Like I want a dog that I can just throw in my car and we can go hike a mountain with. But my whole family's allergic to dogs. So we were like, let's get a hypoallergenic one. So that's why we got a golden doodle. So that's why I got Nova when I was 18. And then, she was raised in our house, all that. And then when like a year into having her, she was in our bed. She wouldn't really bark when people came to the house. No part of me ever thought if someone came after me, she's going to protect me. No part of me ever thought that. I was like, she wouldn't bite anyone. Well, she would sleep in bed with me. And so one night I was laying in bed, I'm passed out. And my sister came home from med school in Blacksburg. It's like 1 a.m. And she wanted to come surprise me. I forget why. She might have come home early for Christmas or something like that. And so I'm sound asleep. And I wake up to my door being cracked open and Nova sitting like right up by my head, like sitting up, hair raised on the back of her head. Her teeth are showing and she's like drooling and she's growling and barking like the most ferocious thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I was scared of my dog.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, and then I realized it's because the door is opening. So I'm thinking like someone's broken, my whole family's dead, I'm about to die. Nova's the last thing I got. And so I'm looking at her, I'm like letting her do it. I'm like, get her, Nova, come on, you got this. And then my sister goes, is she gonna bite me? I was like, Heather? She's like, yeah. I was like, Nova, it's okay. And Nova looked at me like still growling. I'm like, Nova, it's okay. And she like looked at the door and Heather opened it more. And then Nova saw it was my sister and started panting and like ran up to her and started licking her. I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a guard dog. That's what I've always told whenever I went out of town. Liz is like, I don't know, I might sleep at like my parents or something because like I just don't really feel safe here. I was like, trust me, if someone tried breaking into this house, Nova will kill them. She's like, I don't know, she just seems so calm. I was like, trust me, I've seen it. Nova will murder someone to protect you. It's pretty funny. I think the next dog, if we ever get like a dog that's not a golden doodle, I've always wanted like a German Shepherd or a Bernese Mountain Dog or like a boxer.
Boxers, absolutely not. I will never have a boxer.
Yeah, whenever I see a boxer at a dog park, I'm like, get that thing away from me.
That's funny. We got that's why we got Luna as a Bernese Mountain Dog Poodle mix because we wanted a Bernese Mountain Dog, but Bernese Mountain Dogs just shed like no other.
And they are massive.
Yeah, they'll get to be like Luna's mom or dad was 180 pounds.
Yeah, they are massive.
180.
And they're crazy too. Like they jump all over you and stuff like that. But they're like, very pretty dogs.
Imagine just having like a full human as a dog. And just like that, just cuddling up next to you.
That was a weird thing to say.
But you know what I mean? Like a dog's like Nova's 80 pounds and seems massive. But at 100 pounds to that,
Yeah.
That just sounds amazing.
I mean, I know what it feels like to add 30 pounds to myself, and it doesn't feel amazing.
Well, yeah, but imagine if you were a dog and then you add 870 more than that. That's incredible. Only thing that kept me back from Bernie's Mountain Dog is like I always pay very close attention to like what a dog's ideal climate is, and Bernese Mountain Dogs love the cold.
Yeah.
And so Virginia in the summer,
Yeah,
would not
Virginia's freezing cold. It's a good spot.
for like 3 weeks out of the year. Virginia's ice
There's
cold.
snow on the ground. I almost
This is
didn't
week
make
one.
it out of my driveway, by the way.
Did you not shovel
Really?
your driveway?
Kids came over, and I was like, "We got barely any snow. I'm fine." So now we got some like ice situation at the
Yep.
bottom.
That's the Virginia.
And like I almost didn't get out.
That's the danger of. So what happens?
I
in
have to like
Lynchburg-
floor it out of my garage tomorrow.
Dang, that's a bad idea if you're
Because-
going over ice.
No. Like I have to get momentum going because what I did today.
Brodie's gonna send us a picture of him just slid into his
Yeah.
garage and be like, "I wrecked."
I thought it was happening. I thought it was gonna happen because today I'm trying to think. Maybe I didn't like pull out because this is very new to me too. Because our garage situation, it's a weird situation, but I'm very happy that my car is now in the garage.
Yeah.
Because before it was a nightmare. I would have to like start my car 20 minutes before to start defrosting it because you won't tell me this special liquid.
You just go to the store and get it. You just spray
You
it
won't-
on there.
You won't tell me what the special liquid
I don't know
is.
the name of it.
You won't tell me.
Just pee on your windshield.
Well, I'm in a garage now. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't need it. But for whatever reason, like I didn't pull out the right way. So like I had to like kind of maneuver my car a little bit in the driveway, which I had to stop my momentum. And it got dicey there for a second. Like wheels spinning.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough that I had no ice like right up against my house. So I was able to back up all the way up and then kind of like punch it and then slide across the ice to non-ice and then get up.
What typically happens with like Virginia snow is like it snows. It either does one of two things. We witnessed this week, the second one. They always call for 2 to 4 inches.
It's supposed to snow again today.
Really?
Yeah.
2 to 4 inches means one of two things. 2 to 4 inches means we're going to get no snow. Stuff's going to close down for no reason. It's going to be pointless. Or 2 to 4 inches means we're about to witness a blizzard.
Why
And
is
there's
stuff
not really much in
closing
between.
down though?
Because people can't get
People
to the
in-
work.
yeah.
Keep
We don't get enough
I
snow
lived
to
in
know.
Chicago. Okay, that's the thing. You
We
don't,
don't
get
get
enough
enough.
to where it's like
Yeah.
you have like preparation.
Well, that's
for
the crazy thing to
Yeah.
me is that like it's completely different because Gabby and I are going through something different where we aren't expecting the roads to be open this early because in Charlotte we don't ever get snow
because y'all get less snow than we do.
We get way less snow. So to me, Lynchburg is like a snow town. Like it's like the snow is intense.
Yeah.
Because we get mud snow in Charlotte where it snows a little bit and you go sledding in mud for the rest of the day because
Yeah.
it melts in an hour. And so they're never prepared for it. So there's nothing really to do. While here, I mean, there was snow there were snow plows out
I
there.
did
almost
I did a
immediately.
winter in Chicago and it was like nothing.
Yeah, nothing closes
stopped.
out. Yeah.
No.
So, but what happens is like, if no matter what snow we get, whether it's actually the 2 to 4 inches or like this case we got like 8 inches or something like that, 6 inches, I don't know. But they'll get the snows cleared by the end of the day because typically whatever day it snows, it ends up being like 40 in the afternoon, and then overnight it gets back to 20. So then what happens is if you don't get your driveway like cleared, or your road doesn't get cleared, the next morning you're in an ice rink because
Because it
everything
melts.
during the day and you're like, oh, everything looks fine. But then it's just like
And then it
wet.
refreezes.
And then at night it just turns to black ice everywhere. And so, yeah, that's what yesterday my initial road was kind of like that because the snow got packed down. So it melted and then froze on top on the actual road. So I had to like put it in 4-wheel drive to get out of my neighborhood and then I was fine. But yeah, Lynchburg snow is always weird.
My car is probably, if I could pick a car in the world that would be the worst at driving in snow,
I can imagine.
my car would be the
Throw
worst.
some chains on there, dude.
No, thank you.
We,
Because my car is rear wheel drive and very torquey, and it's manual as well.
your car can twerk? Dang, dude.
It's very twerky, and it's also manual, which doesn't necessarily make it more difficult. It just means that you just have to be better at driving stick in order not to lose traction immediately. And my neighborhood was completely frozen solid the other day.
Go straight drift mode.
Yeah, that is fun. So this is what happened. Let me go into this time last year.
They haven't made
Tokyo Drift?
Tokyo Drift Lynchburg.
That's true. So Lynchburg Drift.
No, Tokyo Drift, Lynchburg.
Well, it still has to be Tokyo.
So this time last year, what happened was it was for some reason it was just me and Trevor coming. Well, this was back whenever it was just the three of us that just worked in the office.
Yeah.
And so
That's a great song.
Just the three of us.
And Hunter, you were out of town for some reason.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't remember what you were doing, but so it was just me and Trevor going into the office. So Hunter texted us and was like, "Hey, I don't know what it's like there, but like if it's too bad, just don't go in." And so I'm texting Trevor and I'm like looking outside, and it like had just started snowing, and I was like, "I think we're good." Like it says that it's gonna be melted, like it's gonna be warm later today, so like I think the roads are good enough right now for me to go. And I was like, "So I'm gonna get ready and go." He's like, "All right, sounds good. I'll get ready and go as well." And so I get ready. By the time I get out there to leave, it's worse than it was whenever I like originally texted him and told him that I was coming in. But I was like, it's fine. Like it'll be okay. I don't have a ton of experience with driving the snow. And so I get my car back on my driveway, slipping the whole time. And I'm like, this is a little sketchy. It'll be fine. And my whole old neighborhood, the hill, there's a ton of hills. And so I start driving down this hill. And I'm like, I'm going a little fast. So I hit my brakes a little bit. Start to slide a little bit.
As soon as you hit your brakes, it's over.
And so I do have a lot of experience with doing sketchy drifting from when in my younger years whenever I first bought my car. And so I'm recorrecting it and just getting my way down this hill. And I'm getting towards the bottom of the hill. I was like, I'm not going to get back up this hill. So I started to give it gas so I can get momentum to go up the hill. I'm doing this the whole way out of my neighborhood, just slipping and sliding everywhere. Butt just clenched so I could make a diamond. And it was like, it was chaos. I get to the main roads and they're not better because it had just started snowing.
Yep.
Oh,
So I'm going like 15 miles an hour. It usually took me like 10 minutes to get to work. It took me like 30 minutes to get there. And finally get here. And Trevor has a similar story. And we look outside and it was supposed to like stop snowing.
It was a similar situation to what happened.
Exactly. It was almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it just keeps on coming down. And we're both like, we're going to get stuck here. Like I was like, it's already too bad to where I can't leave.
Yeah.
And now the weather has changed to where it's supposed to do this all day.
Yep.
So we're just going to be stuck here. And he was like, I'm going to have Kinsey come pick us up. So she came and picked us up in her Murano. And because both of us did not have the right cars for it. And then she dropped me off. And then
that day was, I remember what it was now. That, because it was Liz and I my wife had an appointment at UVA in Charlottesville.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were going to the beach immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
So we threw both our dogs in our car because we were taking our dogs to the beach. And we decided, it was the same thing where like, it's only going to snow for a little bit, not a big deal. So we left in the morning around the same time that they were like getting into work. Mm-hmm. We leave, and the roads when we leave aren't that bad. It was okay. We got out. We were driving my wife's car. She has really good 4-wheel drive. Got out of the neighborhood, no problem. When we get to the highway, and because they weren't calling for much, they weren't prepared for much. So we get to the highway, and it just, by like 20 minutes into the drive, I mean, we're driving, it looks, the tracks in front of me are covered up. Like we're just driving on fresh snow, fresh ice, everything. And so we like get a little bit into the drive, and I have to start, like on the highway, I'm going like 15 miles an hour. And I'm like, Liz, you need to call UVA and tell them we're going to be late. She's like, well, do you think we can make it? I'm like, yeah, it's going to stop. Like the snow's going to stop before we even get there. It's fine. It didn't. And so it was like terrifying. So we're like on 460, a highway. We get off onto 64, which is a bigger highway. And that one was like, it seemed a little better. At least the right lane did. And so I'm going like 20 behind this like 18-wheeler. And I'm like, I can pass this guy. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get over. So I get over. And if you've driven in the snow, you know, hitting the gas or hitting brakes, worst thing you can do in snow.
Yeah.
Like if you gas it or you hit brakes too much, you're done. And so I get over and I hit the gas a little too hard to try to pass this guy. So I'm next to an 18-wheeler on a 2-lane road with an embankment next to me, and my back tires just decide, screw you, Hunter. And so now, luckily I have 4-wheel drive, so I had like a little control.
Yeah.
But I basically was just going whoop, 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 whoop. And I was going like 20 miles an hour. So I like let off the gas and didn't touch gas or brake because I knew like that's going to be my best bet to get control of this thing. And then I eventually got it all back under control and just slowly just cruised back behind the 18-wheeler. I was like, this is what we're doing. And so hour and 15-minute trip took us like 3.5 hours.
Jeez.
So we get up there, and how it typically works is towards Northern Virginia, like towards Charlottesville, everything's worse, snow-wise. So we get up there. The whole time we're in this appointment, the snow's coming down more and more and more. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, because we're supposed to now start driving farther north and then go south to get to the beach. So we're going to have to go all the way up to like Northern Virginia, and then you get on a highway that takes you down to the beach. That's the fastest way. So I'm like, Liz, we can't go to the beach today. I'm like, our safest bet is just to go back home because at least that's south. So we get back on the road, and we just start going home, and we finally get home, and then we eat lunch at home or dinner, whatever. I don't even know what time it was. But then by that point, they'd started to get things under control because they realized how bad it was. So at that point, the roads were like, okay. And so Liz is like, I really still want to be at the beach because my sister and brother-in-law were there with our niece. And so it's like 4 o'clock. And then we started our like 6-hour drive to the beach. And so we left our house at like 7 that morning, and we didn't get to the beach till like 10 something that night.
That sounds like a typical Kennedy vacation right there.
I was like, why on earth are we doing this? The whole time I'm driving to the beach, I'm just pissed off. I'm like, we should have left at 8 in the morning. Tomorrow, like, this is ridiculous. Tomorrow the roads will be fine, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, no, that was a typical Virginia snow.
That's literally like every family vacation I've ever been on is like, we're like, all right, let's leave at like 10 in the morning, and then we leave at like 5 in the afternoon and get there at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's just how we did things.
If only we lived in Cabo, guys. We would never have this problem.
There'd be other issues.
No. What
Heat.
issues are there in Cabo?
Yeah.
You're stranded on the highway in 100-degree heat with a blown tire, sweating it out.
Why are you stranded? Where's your
why are you
spares?
stranded? You also have friends that can
You
help
blew
you
the
out.
spare. Spare's gone. I did see yesterday, speaking of spares gone, we were driving home from La Coretta. We went to dinner at the Mexican restaurant. We were coming home, and all the traffic in the other lane was stopped, and there was a state trooper parked sideways in the road with his lights on. And there's no cars, no accident, no nothing. He's just rolling a tire, a full tire, not blown,
yeah.
just off the road, just pushing it. Just rolled it off the road.
Heck yeah.
So all I could think of is like maybe a tire fell off the back of a Jeep or something.
Or it could have fallen off a car and they've already gotten the car out of there.
But it wasn't like it was pumped up. It was like an off-road looking tire, and he was just rolling it.
No,
So it definitely fell out of the bed of a truck or something.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, it was somebody's spare.
Yeah.
What?
If it was in a wreck, like I feel like the tire would have been damaged.
no.
If
And
it
also,
fell
a tire
off-
doesn't just fall off in a
Yes,
wreck.
it does. Not in a wreck. I'm telling you right now, I have video evidence of a tire flying at me and Kelsey at about 60 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty
And
terrifying.
it just flew off this car. This car was just driving on the road. We were playing disc golf. It's in a disc golf video. We were driving. This car was just probably driving on a road, and its tire just flew off, and it just bounced and rolled. I mean, it probably traveled like a mile. I mean, it was gone. I'll see if I can find the video. It's a wild video.
That's crazy.
I don't understand
The
how a tire
only
can
the
just come
only
off.
way that can happen.
Well, we looked
is,
up, and there was an accident.
the only way that can happen is if your ball joints get bad, then people say that could happen, but I've never actually seen it happen.
Like the whole thing come off?
But that's still ridiculous. There's so
Like
much.
the brake pads and everything?
That's,
Or like what
that's
comes
the thing.
off?
There's so much attached to a tire.
Yeah.
And it's not all just attached by one point. So like
Yeah.
if something were to fail, the car would just and then the tire would be janky, but I don't think it'd fall off.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I mean,
there's a tire rolling across the field.
I believe you 100%. I just don't know how it happens.
but like that's just a tire.
Yeah, but look how hard it hits this tree. If this hits you, you're dead. Look at
Okay,
this
you're
thing.
not dead.
Bam!
It'd be a bad day. But
mean,
like that was just a tire.
it hit
So
a
there wasn't
tree.
like anything attached to it.
No, it was literally just a tire flying.
I don't know.
Because like where'd the bolts go?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a modern mystery. I still can't even believe I caught that on video.
That is pretty cool.
That's very cool.
I have seen
wild,
I saw
wild thing.
on a highway a tire just like booking it up a highway and a car hit it. And you would think like, oh, it's just a tire.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The car hit it
tire
and
will
it
kill
launched
you.
the car in the air. Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, I'll find a link to it. It literally launched the car. Like it wasn't like you thought it was just gonna be like we hit and it's done. Like the car went airborne over the tire won in the tire versus car.
I was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru the other day, and it was crazy, super busy, like Chick-fil-A is.
Always.
And this guy in this really jacked up Chevy, one of the ones that are raised for no.
It's a country song.
Are you okay, Hunter?
I found the video.
Okay.
It makes no sense. I don't know the best because they're not gonna be able to see it.
Just say you'll
Okay.
tweet it out. You
I'll
probably
tweet,
won't
I'll
even-
tweet it out.
Okay.
Well, this is a 5-minute video, but I only want the first 3 seconds.
Are you showing it to me right now?
Do you not want me to?
You can show it to me right now.
I want to show it to you.
All right.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to come over here.
Okay, I'm coming.
Well, yeah, because what am I supposed to do over here?
All right. For everyone at home, check my
Who's
Twitter.
filming? The person in the car?
The person in this other car is filming this tire just like rolling back down the highway, and then watch this car.
Oh my!
Well, I mean, it went
But
underneath.
look,
it.
the tire just keeps going.
Wait, did that car do? Did that car do a flip?
Yeah, like the car rolled up the tire and then flipped, and the tire just kept rolling.
I mean, rubber.
When rubber meets the road.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's just the phrase.
I hope the
pretty
person's
crazy.
okay. I've never heard of like the news story behind it. I would imagine the person's okay. It
They
didn't
look okay.
yeah, like the car landed straight up. Well, it didn't look like a type of wreck where you're like, oh my gosh, that person's
Yeah, the
dead.
person's not wearing a seatbelt. They just.
Well, true.
Well, yeah,
that is true.
That is true. That is true.
That person was definitely on their phone too, by the way.
I don't know. They hit their brakes at least before they hit the tire. I think it was one of those
Well, it was
situations
dark.
where
They
like,
might not have seen it.
yeah, I think it was one of those situations
The
where you're
lights
like,
were on it. You could see it from the other car.
Yeah, but I don't know.
but if you're going 60 miles an hour, like they slowed down enough they didn't like fly over it. They probably were just thinking like, oh crap, I just got to hit this tire. And the next thing they know, they're
that is
airborne
crazy.
flipping.
That is.
It didn't seem like something where
So
you should
what
make you
if
flip.
it wasn't rubber? So the reason why I did that is because the rubber took the impact.
Traction.
Yeah.
So instead of pushing it forward, it
just
took
rolled
the
over
impact
it.
and
And rolled
pushed
up.
into the road
Yeah.
and the car, and so it just like gripped into the road and just.
Yeah.
It was literally ramped off of that tire.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean, now that I
crazy.
think about it, that like if I had to stop.
Like if
Like,
you see a
there's-
tire and you're like slamming on brakes, or you're just like, crap,
No,
I gotta hit the tire.
I'm thinking like if I'm a cop and I'm trying to stop.
Let me put my
high-
spare tire in front of
Yeah,
him.
instead of laying down spikes, I'm just chucking tires.
But also,
down the
a spare
road.
tire could be something that's easy to get around.
Now, if I throw like 10 at you,
That is true. How, it's very true.
if I have 10
What if
spare
you had a-
tires rolling
what
down
if
a
you
road,
had a-
how are you stopping?
well,
how
it
are
needs
you
to
getting
roll
away
with
from
you.
that?
So what if they just had like a chain of like they're all connected, and it's just a roll of tires, and they just push it forward, and so when you're coming, you have
have
two
no
options:
choice.
swerve into a barrier or run over the tires.
But why not just put out like the
Spike
the
strips?
spike strips?
No, because
Not
you can
as
still
fun.
drive after the spikes. You're not driving after
Well,
being
you
hit by a
can't
tire.
drive far. You're gonna drive like a mile maybe while your car loses momentum.
But you're not driving after that. That person's concussed inside their car.
Yeah, but that is true. I don't have an argument.
Because if you
I don't
think
have
about
a
it,
good
if you
argument,
hit
I
the
guess.
spikes, that person now is way out of control, but they're still driving fast, and now they can hurt someone else.
That's very true. You make a good
You
point.
drive over a tire, you're out.
Done.
Checked out.
oh, okay. So I just rewatched the video. The tire's in the lane of the person filming, and they're slowing down. Like, oh my gosh, look at this tire. And then it slowly goes to the left.
Oh,
so the
yeah,
car
so
is
they
coming
just
this way,
blocks it.
and it just
Okay.
came in front of them, and then they hit their brakes and
Gosh.
just flip. Like,
That's
imagine explaining
crazy.
that to your insurance. Like, no, I hit a tire and it flipped my car. And you're like, come on.
I mean, if it was a police trap,
Like, I know
everyone
our
would
commercials say
understand.
we've seen everything, but we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. But come on, we're not even buying that. You're like, no, trust me.
So, jacked up Chevy in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru is my new song I'm writing.
The jacked up Chevy, and I just went Old Town Road.
So it's like one of those like trucks that are jacked up, but like they're not going off roading because the axles are still the same, still have the same clearance. It's stupid. Anyway, so this guy is trying to get out of the drive-thru, and so he's obviously like, I don't want to be in this drive-thru anymore. So he's like, I'm just gonna run over these traffic cones, and they're like full-size traffic cones, like the big traffic cones.
Yeah.
So he runs over.
Are you talking
them.
about the Chick-fil-A ones?
Chick-fil-A
They're just like
ones.
the poles. There's the poles, right?
No. These are like legit.
Oh,
traffic
like
cones.
the
Like cones.
cone. Okay.
And so he drives over the first one, and he doesn't have enough clearance on his axles that are still only like a foot from the ground. And so it just gets stuck under his axle, and he's driving through, and it's just stuck, dragging along with him. Then he runs over another one, and it's stuck under there. He runs over another one. So he's got 3 traffic cones
Nice.
stuck under his truck. I don't know if he knows that he has them there, but he's just driving through the parking lot confidently. Then goes and he's like going past the Sheetz parking lot to pull out on the main road. It's got
kept
traffic
him with
cones
him.
underneath.
Oh, he's
underneath
kept him with him.
He just kept him with him. Yeah, I don't know how long they were there, but it's theft, and I will find you.
He did just steal 3
He
traffic
stole
cones.
from Chick-fil-A.
All right, let's wrap it up with a Alabama, Georgia prediction.
Oh. Is that
National-
this weekend? When is
national-
that? Is that this weekend?
Monday.
Monday.
National championship, Alabama, Georgia. They previously met in the
Alabama
SEC championship.
wrecked their lives.
Alabama destroyed them. And
I
then-
think it's going to be closer than that, but I think Alabama's still going to win.
Okay, Bama.
There's 0 predictions.
Nothing.
Just pick one.
I'm not involved.
Here. I got a
What are
number.
my 2 options?
No, this will be more
Bama
fun.
or
This will be more
Georgia?
fun. This is the actual true prediction.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Wait, how I was about to do that? That didn't make any sense.
I don't know what you're about
No,
to do.
pick 2 numbers between 1 and 10, whichever one I'm closest to.
No. This is what I'm gonna do. I have assigned Alabama and Georgia to 2 numbers in my head, number 1 or number 2. You just say the number, and that's the team that's gonna win.
It's easy. It's written in my skin.
Yeah,
It's number 2.
number 2. That's Georgia. That was Georgia in my head.
That's what I was gonna pick anyway.
So I mean,
That's who Kelsey picked.
Georgia won.
Kelsey
Boom.
is this is what I figured out with gambling.
Congratulations, Georgia, on your national championship title.
This
Proud
is
of
what
you
you
guys.
want to
Go
do
Dogs.
if you want to gamble. You want to find, and this is honestly, this is why probably gamblers do this, is because they don't want to have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, I'm the reason I lost all this money. They want to look themselves in the mirror and say, it's not me, it's that person.
Yeah.
You just find someone else to make all your bets.
Oh.
And if they win, you're like, oh my gosh, you're a genius. And if they lose, you're like, well, you probably don't know what you're talking about anyways.
That's true.
Because like Kelsey is just killing it. And I was terrible.
So what's your prediction?
I have $25 on Georgia.
Wait, but is that you or is that Kelsey?
-3.
And the only way it works is if you think Alabama.
I was going to bet Alabama.
Okay, so Georgia won.
I was going to bet
Again,
Alabama.
congratulations, go Dogs.
Nick Saban is 7-2 in national championship games. His only 2 losses coming to Clemson.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart has never beaten Nick Saban. Nick Saban's also like 68-1, I think, against playing former assistant coaches or something ridiculous stat.
There's no reason Georgia wins this game. I'll say that.
Stetson Bennett.
Like the hats? All right.
He's the quarterback of Georgia.
All right.
Does he wear Stetsons?
I don't even know what Stetson is.
I mean,
It's
that'd
a
be
hat.
a great.
Very famous hat
What
company.
is it? NIL? NLI?
NFL is what you're looking for.
No. The sponsorships that kids get now.
WNBA.
No. Is it NILs?
It's those 3 letters. I don't know which way it goes.
UFC. I know sports so much better than you guys.
I'm trying to figure out what it
I
stands
think it's
for.
NIL.
Is it NIL? What does that stand for?
YMCA.
National International Lamborghinis.
Definitely not national.
International Lamborghinis.
Okay, NIL college football. Everything you need to know.
I think it's LIL. Lil.
What is NIL?
Just search what does NIL stand for. Oh, National Image and Likeness.
Okay.
I put national in front of it because I couldn't find what the N stands for.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's not good. I'm over it.
Image and likeness, I think, is the I and the L in there.
I just can't believe we talked
Nat-
about
nat-
dogs for 45
We
minutes.
talked about dogs for so
Gosh.
Natural.
Dog podcast.
The dog cast.
All right.
Go Dogs.
Oh,
signs.
there's a sign.
Follow the signs.
Wow.
It was always the dogs. It was always Jersey Jerry. I'll be Trevor this week. I'm not moving.
No.
You're right. I'll keep my headphones on for good measure.